Hello everyone, so today's video is going to be a pregnancy update, and it's been a while since I last updated you guys with everything, but I didn't really have much to tell you until today when I had my appointment. So my last update, I told you guys from 17 weeks to 25 weeks, I had a VCI, or I have VCI, which is a Velamentous cord insertion, where the cord, the umbilical cord, implants into the placenta in an abnormal way. So that can hinder growth for the baby because they might not get enough nutrients. It could also make you a high risk of preeclampsia, premature birth, and a C-section. So I was told I had that. And then I went and did another ultrasound with my normal doctor to check everything, and then she said she didn't see the VCI, which was like, okay. So we scheduled another appointment with a high-risk specialist, which was today, and just to double check everything. So I am 31 weeks today, and I had my high-risk ultrasound where they checked the growth of everything and just to make sure everything is growing right. And so it went really well. Everything's looking really great. She's growing right on track. She's actually, from what they said, she's 4 pounds, 3 ounces, which is really good for 31 weeks. So she is growing. All of her organs, everything looks great. Her heart, her brain, her kidneys, and her bladder, which is two things that they really wanted to check on once they found out this next thing. While I was in there, the perinatologist actually came in because I had a different tech doing my ultrasound at the time. She came in and she's like, everything looks great. And she was like, she goes, did we check the VCI? And they're like, oh yeah, you can kind of see it. Cause I guess when you get further along, it's harder to tell about the VCI, but they did see it. So I do have VCI. She says like her size, everything is looking great. And then she said, oh, I saw your notes about the fluid. And I was like, what? I was so confused. So she saw the notes about the fluid. So she goes, your fluid levels are low. And the numbers that they use are just generic numbers. She goes, there's a lot of other factors into it, but I guess I'm at a 7, and they get really worried when you get close to a 5. So the amniotic fluid that I have is rather low. So they asked me if have you had any leaking or anything like that? And I told them, I was like, I've had a lot of discharge, like TMI, but we're on a pregnancy video. I told them, I was like, I've had a lot of discharge throughout this entire pregnancy. From the very beginning, I've had an abnormal amount that has been, it's been way higher than with any other, like with my other pregnancy with Riley. And I was like, I just thought it was a thing because I've seen people in like pregnancy update videos say like, oh yeah, I had a lot more fluid, but I guess sometimes it just happens with different pregnancies. So I thought it was just that. She's not too concerned with like the amount that I told her that I have, but we have to monitor everything because if my fluid levels drop too low, they're gonna have to induce me. So basically, I have a regular doctor appointment with my doctor next Tuesday that I'm going to be going in there, and then I'm sure he'll kind of tell me what his game plan wants to be. But I have another appointment with this same like high risk doctor on the 22nd, which is in less than 2 weeks. So they want to get me in, and so that way they can remeasure everything really quickly and kind of see are my levels dropping lower, or is this kind of are they like kind of like staying the same? So she goes, from that appointment on the 22nd is going to determine if we are going to see you 1 to 2 times a week until you deliver or until we have to induce you. So she said, I asked her, I go, okay, so what's like worst case scenario? She goes, so basically if we see that your levels are dropping, we're going to try to hold out until you're 37 weeks at term, and we will induce you then because it's not safe. The baby could be stillborn. So she said, this is a reason why we really have to monitor these things, even for women who are like at 40 weeks or 40 plus, because the amniotic fluid gets so low that it causes stillborn, which is why some doctors will induce at 40 weeks, because after that, it gets very unsafe. And I'm like, that's the last thing I would want. So she told me, she goes, what you need to monitor is to make sure that there's no abnormal amounts of discharge or leaking, and that her kicks are staying the same. She goes, you can do your kick counts and everything like that, but you know what's normal for you and her. So if you notice her lessening any of that, she goes, you go right to labor and delivery and you get it checked out. She goes, You're not going to bother them. You're not going to do anything. She goes, it's just go there and get a peace of mind. It's the safest thing. So I have to be very like in tuned and making sure she's continuously moving. So it's a little nerve-wracking, a little nerve-wracking. So that's basically what the game plan is right now. So it's going to be basically 22nd, find out how the fluids are going. If they're dropping a little bit more, then I'm going to be coming in like every probably 1 to 2 times a week to that same place, monitoring it. If they drop to an unhealthy level or a worrisome level, then we will induce at 37 weeks, which is in 6 weeks from where I am right now. So yeah, I asked her, I was like, is there anything I can possibly do to increase my fluids? And she said, she goes, back in the day, they would bring the moms in and they would just pump them full of IV fluids and hoping that it will raise the fluids. She goes, they really didn't see much of a difference. So honestly, nothing's really going to change your diet. Nothing's going to change that. It is what it is. We just have to monitor it very closely from here on out. So I'm like, you guys, I don't think there's only been one ultrasound I feel like that I've gone to now where I didn't find out something new. I feel like the first one was the cervical polyp, the second one was the subchorionic hemorrhage, the third one was the VCI, and then now the fourth one is this low amniotic fluid. I'm like, I just can't catch a break. I'm like, white flag, I need a break. So this just has me a little concerned. So I'm definitely going to be not as on top of my game with work. I'm really gonna just try to take it easy as much as I can and prepare for her and really stay very much in tune with my body as much as I can, because I want to be able to feel and know that everything is okay. I'm going to be very nervous until the 22nd. I think the 22nd will help give me a peace of mind, because even if I'm going in there frequently, like the following weeks, at least I know I'm going to be like checked constantly, and that will help give me a peace of mind. But yeah, anyways, though, she's looking great. She's growing, and I think that was the big thing, was that they were worried about her kidneys and her bladder, because I guess with the amniotic fluid, it's like their urine coming out. So they want to make sure that they're functioning and that they're developed. And they are. And then they also wanted to make sure that her belly was expanding in and out to show that her lungs are breathing, or like they're like practice breathing, because it's not real breathing. And she was doing that. So everything looks great there. Like her nutrients, everything, like, because with the VCI also, she's not going to be getting as much nutrients. And then now we have low amniotic fluid to look at. And I'm like, oh my God, this poor little girl. I'm ready to get her out and like tend to her on the outside. It's just a little nerve-wracking. If you guys have any like of your own situations, of if you have ever been through this, I would love to hear your stories. I always love hearing other people's stories and experiences with stuff. It's always great to talk with you guys. To talk about like the one ultrasound that we really did enjoy was the one that we went to a boutique with, which I recommend for everyone. If you are pregnant with your first, second, third, fourth, doesn't matter. Go find a boutique place. We go to the Mommy and Me place here in San Diego. I've done it twice now. My sister's done it. I love it there. They're so great, because the one thing I love about it is because it's one ultrasound where you get to really focus on the baby, like with mom and dad, and not be looking for something. Like it's very stress-free, and I needed that so bad in this pregnancy. And I feel like that one we had done at 28 weeks, which I'll have pictures pop up here for you guys. But we had it done at 28 weeks, and it was just, that was probably one of the best days to really enjoy. Like Joel got to go with me because he hasn't been able to go to any appointments. So he got to go with me, and he got to get his connection with her because he hasn't really been a part of it all. That was probably like the best day. Like that was the best day. I got to see her. I got to see a lot of what she looks like. Honestly, she looks like another little Riley. I'll even show you a side-by-side image here of baby girl number 2 and then a newborn picture of Riley. It's so crazy how much they look alike. And I was even looking at the ultrasound pictures of the ones today, and we couldn't really see her very well because she's got a lot less room in there now, but she's still like, there were still moments I was like, oh my God, she looks like Riley. I just want her out. I want her to be safe. I want her to get nutrients. I want her to continue to grow. I am just praying for the best, and I'm going to be focusing on that a lot right now. That is like my one top priority. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here and just update you guys all because I really haven't done a pregnancy update in a long time. I mean, also if I wanted to throw in some regular like symptoms, I'm starting to swell now. I just started swelling probably within the last week. And I started swelling with Riley at like 16, 17, 18 weeks, around that range. I was swelling with her so early. So this is crazy. It's been really nice not swelling that much. I'm definitely getting a lot more tired. I get a lot more winded, as you guys can tell. Just sitting down and talking, I get winded. Yeah, so I'm at that stage. I'm at the stage right now where your body is starting to hurt. It's starting to get harder to get out of bed. Your body's a little bit more achy. It's harder to breathe if you're going up and down stairs or if you're just sitting and talking. Yeah, I'm just at that stage right now, which is totally normal for the third trimester. She's just getting bigger, and yeah, so basically everything else for me is just like normal pregnancy. It's crazy. I'm still wearing tennis shoes right now. I remember at this stage, I could not wear tennis shoes. I had to live in flip-flops with Rai Rai. So I definitely do want to do a video of doing a summer pregnancy versus a winter pregnancy, and like how I've noticed a difference in my body and just how different pregnancies are, even though they're the same sex, like they're both girls. Like I didn't know if I would be carrying differently. There's just so many differences in this pregnancy, and it's amazing. But I have to say, I really enjoy the winter pregnancies because I enjoy just the comfier clothes. I lived in dresses with my first one, but I love just the leggings and just like the comfy sweaters and stuff. So yeah, I've just really been enjoying that. So I definitely do want to do a video of that, like comparing the two and like how different they've been for me, and how much I feel like with my complications, everything have made this pregnancy harder. But that aside, just regularly like moving and going, I feel like has been a lot easier for me than it was with Riley, which is crazy. But yeah, anyways, that is my quick little update. Let me know if you guys would be excited to see a summer versus winter pregnancy video. I'd be more than happy to do that for you. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.